made it to Colorado. Look at this. This is the coolest looking thing ever. And look at this little house. Crazy. Alright, it is freezing out here. I wonder how cold it is in this river. Crazy. I've been out here for like a couple hours now on a work trip. It's been cool. Last night we went to a bar, but the altitude is high up here, so I barely drank, so that way I wouldn't get drunk with coworkers. That's not my style. Yeah, but I'm gonna get inside now. It's freezing. So here are some of the houses that I saw when I was in Durango, and some of the streets. It looks storybook, picture perfect. I was able to take a drive with some of my coworkers, and we only got to see a little bit because we basically worked from 9 to 5. So after 5, it got dark in the town, but it was quite interesting because I just don't get to see snow that often where I'm at in Los Angeles. So it's cool to see. Gas prices are significantly lower. Most vehicles are trucks. They're not fancy cars or anything like that. So we just got to see the differences between everything and how it was. And as you can see, like most of the time the sun was setting over the mountain because the altitude was so high. So kind of had that sunrise or sunset look at all times during the day, which was kind of interesting as well. And my manager at the time, he drove us up to a local mountain so we can see some of the sights. And that's pretty interesting to me because we have mountains in California, but not a lot of mountains that have snow. So, and the higher up the mountain you went, you could see like the peaks, and you could see like the sun touching each mountain peak. And it was just very interesting. Of course, still winded because of the altitude, but it was something I started to get used to the longer I was in town, which we were there for just a few days, so it wasn't long. I tried to catch as many views as I could. It was interesting to see like how high up some of the mountains are that people ski down. Like one of my colleagues sent me a video of them skiing down a very high mountain, and it was just like a part of their regular everyday activities, which to me sounds terrifying. But these are just some of the things that I learned that they do in their pastime that I just couldn't even fathom doing where I'm from. We don't go skiing. We didn't usually, growing up, we didn't have the funds to do things like ski and take adventurous trips and things like that, or do activities like surfing. So this was just a very interesting point of view. So we have a business meeting here. This is our co-working space. I'll show it to you guys. Here are some more views of the mountain and some of the things we saw while we were there. It's interesting to take the scenery in. Oh man, got done with meetings for the day. Now we're walking back to the hotel room. Oh, this has been a rough day. There's a higher altitude here, so it's a different ball game. When jogging or doing something, you get tired. But I'm making it through. Gotta get a quick video. This looks cute. this weekend with my coworkers. And it's been an eye-opening experience. Just been hanging out this week on a business trip, and it's been an eye-opening experience. I was able to learn so much about the industry, but I don't know. From time to time, it gets kind of hard to digest how difficult this process is for me compared to a lot of people of different races. And what I mean by that, like, I'm not trying to say like I can't jump up to speed and do things just as well as others, but sometimes it doesn't feel good knowing that I've had to make a lot of choices in my life differently than they have. So put me in a position where I'm far behind the starting line as opposed to like at the starting line. So it's just difficult because when you're running a race and you're behind the starting line, it's more difficult to pass the person and win. Not to say that this is all about a competition, and maybe that's where I'm going wrong in my thought process on this, but you know, just from time to time I get annoyed just thinking about my upbringing compared to others and how that factors into what I have to do in life to get ahead. I think about that bigger picture, and I also think about like what I have to do to stay ahead. And it just made me feel like I have a lot to do when I get home. Also, today I actually found out today that the dancer Twitch committed suicide, and it was making me think like about how short life is. So it's like I am just like I'm split like on what I want to do, because I always feel so motivated to do so much when I'm in a situation like this where I have to see everyone else's progress and everything and see what I could be doing, and it makes me want to go home and do a lot. But then I think about stuff like that where, you know, life is too short and everything that happens to people, and you know, how they deal with that. So yeah, I'm just focusing on a lot of things in life and trying to make sure I make the best decisions I can for the card that I've been dealt, basically. We can't choose like how we're born, and I was talking to my husband about this last night too. We can't choose how we're born. We can only choose what we decide to do after, and we can only take things day by day. And there's certain people in certain positions that will never understand where we come from and how we have to deal with things compared to how they have to deal with them. And that's all I'm going to say about that topic. But essentially, I've just been getting constant reminders of that while I'm on this trip. So